It is Breckham's fault. Of the sleeping children in China. You tell them, fella. Drink your coffee, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to start. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be an interesting day. More than anything, it's going to be a Middleton day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to get started here at Lone Wolf Sport Gallery thingamajiggy that we do every Saturday. But we're not doing the weekend review. Well, we are doing a weekend review, but we're doing a very special version of the weekend review today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going live with a bunch of supercuts from Judge Middleton's room, and mainly because these supercuts include conclusions or updates, at least, from this past week. First thing we're going to look at is probably the worst hoarding case we've ever seen in Judge Middleton's room. Then we're going to move on to a real interesting camping situation. And then we've got a real crazy guy. It all starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. Let's get started.
Good morning. I'll call the case. This is the Village of White Pigeon versus Rebecca Lynn Nickerson. I also saw it as Pierce Nickerson. Priest. How do you?
Priest.
That's how you.
P-R-E-I-S. Yeah, Priest.
Rebecca Priest. Also present is Aaron Geschwint from the Geschwint Seaver Law Firm, representing the Village of White Pigeon, and their zoning administrator, Mr. Douglas Kuhlman. This is a formal hearing in a civil infraction zoning violation matter. Normally, these would go to the magistrate. Because of the overwhelming circumstances of this case, the village asked for it to come directly to formal hearing. This may be the worst hoarding case I've seen ever. I got some late emails this morning where parties asked to come by Zoom because it would have been a new formal. Ms. Priest is here. Ms. Geschwint, what's the situation here?
The situation here, I believe it was my understanding that we may have a consent judgment in this case.
I was told that.
Whereby Ms. Priest would allow the village to come in and clean up the property.
Is that true?
No,
Apparently not.
Then we can run the
not the property. No, you're talking about the outside.
Well, we'll see. The ticket alleges that on December 6th of 2024, that they did an administrative search warrant and they found the building was unsafe for human habitation.
That would be the 16th.
16th, you're right. I may have misstated, but the ticket says the 16th. And that is a violation of the White Pigeon Village nuisance ordinance. Mr. Kuhlman is here. And I'm going to ask you, Ms. Priest and Mr. Kuhlman, to both raise your right hand. You will swear or affirm any testimony about to given in this proceeding will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
I do.
All right. Was there discussion of some sort of consent order?
Yeah, yes, there was, Your Honor. I talked to Ms. Nickerson and said, we would draft up this order, giving some benchmarks that, the exterior of the property would have to be cleaned within a certain amount of time. The interior of the property would have to be cleaned within a certain period of time as well. She said she would be willing to do that. And in lieu of signing a consent order, the village would be willing to dismiss or request the fines be dismissed on this case so she could take that funds and concentrate on getting her house cleaned up. Council did provide a consent order. They sent it to me. I've tried more than once calling Miss Nickerson's phone and it goes straight to voicemail. So,
well, could somebody send one to me?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll print it and we'll share it with the defendant and see whether it's acceptable to her. I suppose while we're doing that, we should make up some record here. Mr. Kuhlman, did you go out on December 16th and execute a administrative search warrant on this property at 200 West East Hodgins or 300 East Hodgins Street?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And did you do a report of that?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And did you forward a copy of that as part of the pleadings in this case?
I've submitted that to you, Your Honor, plus I've submitted additional supplementals, which I can share screen if necessary.
All right. And the police report that you prepared, the original date of 12/16 is the report and 51 pages, including photographs.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And are those fair and accurate representation? Yeah, fair and accurate representations of what you saw?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just indicate to you that we did the best we could in making this case presentable. I had indicated to Ms. Nickerson that this is the course of action I would need to take to do this inspection. She was there the day that I came. However, she refused to be cooperative with me and said she had to go someplace and left. I did not want to force entry into the home and do damage to any doors. Plus there was a dog inside. So all the photos you have are from an exterior view or from the interior of the garage that was open at the time.
Which was locked. And you can see damage, there is damage to the door.
All right. I'm going to admit the report and your photographs as exhibit 1 for this hearing. Yeah, there is a formal record being made of this, and you can even view it on YouTube, but you can't make your own recording in a public courtroom. Was there a supplemental report?
If you go, yes, I've submitted a couple to the court, Your Honor. Basically the supplementals on the same day that I did the search warrant, the village was there on a previous order that was under Carl's name and did a cleanup. Shortly after the police department did that cleanup, the police department notified me that the area that they cleaned up, she was already bringing stuff from someplace, whether it was in the house or whatever, and stacking it right back up in the area we had just cleaned up.
So this property was previously cleaned up?
The day he came to do the search warrant.
You had an order, Your Honor, under Carl Nickerson that after, I believe it was December the 1st, that the village had the authority to come in and clean up the exterior of the property. So on the same day that the village cleanup crew came to clean up the exterior of the property is the day that I executed the search warrant for the interior of the property.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at this consent order. Well,
I have
All
a
right.
couple
all right,
questions.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, on the search warrant, doesn't it have to be like a seal or something, or he just hand me this paper and okay, start from the beginning. On the 24th, we Carl came to court and we got the cleanup. And you gave us till the December 1st. On November 9th, my husband got sick. On the 11th, he was hospitalized with diabetic ketoacidosis and put into a coma on the 12th. On the 19th, he came out of the coma and we
We're talking November now?
Yes. He passed away in the hospital. He never made it home until yesterday. I got his remains finally because they have fouled a lot of things up. And his death certificate is still no good because my name is spelled wrong on there and my birthday. So I can't access anything. So amongst all of this, I cannot stay in my home. I can't grieve my husband. I took a table and was taking boxes out of the house, sorting them. They either went to the landfill, they went to the free store, or I found a place for them in the house. If I could find a place from the house, they've been donated. I have empty boxes on the patio where I'm sorting. I'm sorting out the totes and I'm getting rid of stuff. And I've been making a big headway on
So
this,
who was the hoarder? Carl?
both of us. But in the process of on the 16th, Carl made me promise him on the 3rd, the last time I saw him, that I would get the house decorated for Christmas. We haven't done that in a few years, and that's what he wanted. So I pulled out like the big plastic blow molds and I put Frosty up, and I had the other ones in the trash cans where we store them because you don't want to get knocked around and stuff in the sheds. That's one of the first things that they threw away.
All right, well,
And that wasn't on the list.
let's go through this.
So this is a picture of the exterior, which is a 2024 photo from the county. Showing the debris and stuff in the backyard. Again, upon arrival, Miss Nickerson was there. I told her that I had the administrative search warrant that had been authorized by the courts. I did present it to her. She said she didn't have time to deal with it. She had to go someplace.
I had to go to the funeral home, and then
All right.
my dad had heart surgery on the 17th, so I was kind of.
All right, well, she's indicated she had important business to transact, so she wasn't there. All right, what are we seeing in this picture?
So this is a picture of the 40 cubic yard dumpster and the cleanup crew that was there under the court order that was for Carl Nickerson. As you can see, there's quite a bit of debris still in the backyard on the day of the cleanup. This is the area that the cleanup crew took most of the stuff, and then within a few days afterwards, she started putting more stuff under the canopy. The cleanup crew ran into quite a bit of mold and what appeared to be like mice feces when they were removing this debris. This is another photograph of the backyard back towards their storage shed. Here's just a generalized view of the backyard before they started the cleanup. Again, just another view. These are just different angles of the backyard. So this is a picture of the front window. I have a photograph coming later that will be more detailed, but there was somewhere between a dozen to 2 dozen large flies flying around in the windows. Typically, when you have flies like that, it means that you've got something rotten or dead. Typically, when you have flies, you tend to have maggots, and when you have the combination of those two, you tend to have cockroaches as well. Here's a view of the garage with the garage door open. This entire garage is filled to this capacity, almost to the roof trusses of the ceiling. This is the garage door going from the back of the garage. You go into this and you turn to the right, and about 3 foot to the right is the back door to the house. This is the entryway to get in. I'm obviously not a Tiny Tim, but I had to walk sideways through this little area even to get to the back door. That's how much debris is there. And the debris was falling down from the top of the pile as I went past it. So this is the back door that goes into the house. Again, it was locked, and I did not want to damage her door, so I did not force entry. This is looking from the back door of her house through the garage, and you can see at the very back of the photograph is the garage door with the garage door open, indicating that the entire garage is filled with this clutter. This is a photograph looking through the back door into the kitchen area. You can see that You know, it's just extreme clutter throughout the entire kitchen area. To the left, you can see the stairway railing going down to the basement. I apologize for the picture, but this is going through the glass door. As you can see, the basement stairway is just filled with clutter, so you would have an extreme difficulty getting to the basement. I have no idea what the basement looks like. This is an entry door on the front of the garage, and as you can see, it's been blocked off. But there was no way anybody could get in or out of this door because of the debris that's filled on the other side of it. Just another picture of the front window where you can see items are piled up in the front area of the home, pushing the blinds out against the windows. Just another view of it. This is a picture being taken through the glass of the front door. So the living room area proceeding back to the kitchen. This is from the kitchen window looking towards the front. This window was unlocked, so I was able to open it. When I opened it, there was a very strong pungent odor coming from the window. Also, there were several flies that flew out of the window when I opened it. Kind of the same picture, just a little different angle, showing the clutter that's in the kitchen area. I would tell you that Miss Nickerson indicated to me that the reason the flies are in the house was because the refrigerator within the house broke and was not functioning, and she wasn't aware of it. This is just where the garage door has been closed. There has been a placard placed on the garage door saying that this home is unsafe for human habitation. Both these vehicles sitting in the driveway, both the blue one and the white one, are filled with quite a bit of debris inside of those as well. So I'm not sure if these vehicles are even operable. Just another the same view. Copy of the placard on the front door, or the garage door, I'm sorry. This is the entry door going into the garage where it's been placarded. The citation was posted, and a copy of the administrative search warrant and tabulation and return was posted on the door. Again, the front picture window also now has a placard on it, is unsafe for human habitation. Here's just a zoom up of that window, and you can see all those flies that are right there. I don't know, there's what, 5 or 6 of them right there. Those are all live and flying around in the window. Here's a picture of the white vehicle that you can see is filled with debris. Kind of hard to tell with the smoked windows, but the back of the car is filled with items as well. Here's the front seat from the driver's side. You can see that there's debris just thrown in the front seat area of the vehicle. Here's the blue vehicle. You can see there's debris and stuff the car is being used as a storage facility for whatever is in all these containers and bags. Here's a picture of the back seat of that vehicle. Just a view from the other side of the same vehicle. From the blue vehicle, front seat from the driver's side of the vehicle. This is a picture. I got a call from the police department the next day. Miss Nickerson says this was not her, but before they got the dumpster out of there, somebody had opened the back door of the dumpster and started taking things out of the dumpster and putting it in the yard.
Trash.
This was the dumpster at the completion of their cleanup. So there was a lot of debris that was hauled out of the backyard. This is all exterior stuff that was hauled out. And that's the original. I do have a couple of supplemental reports. I did turn this over to the Michigan Department of Human Services, Adult Protective Services. They actually declined my request to go lend any aid to Miss Nickerson, says it was unfounded. There's just a copy of the report from the Adult Protective Services Unit that says they were not going to get involved in it.
All right, so this is as of December 12th. Now, by the end of the day, a lot of that stuff had been removed by the crew and placed in the dumpster. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, and you and Miss Priest Nickerson discussed this consent order. Is that correct?
I did talk with her. I asked her if she would be willing to do a consent order in lieu of the fines. And at that same conversation, I did ask her if I could see if I could make another call to Adult Protective Services and or community mental health to see if they could come in and at least assist her with some of the things she's got going on in her personal life.
All right, Miss Priest Nickerson, you have a copy of this we just gave you?
Yes.
Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Starting at page 2, the court accepts the report of the Township Ordinance Enforcement Officer and determination that the house is subject property is uninhabitable in its current condition. I have accepted the report and the house does appear to be uninhabitable.
That has changed quite a bit in the
All right.
last.
Well,
Few weeks.
it sounds like you may have made some progress in the meantime,
I'm
but
trying.
here's what's in the order. And this is not in effect. Yeah, this is what is proposed by Officer Coleman. Has Ms. Hill shown up for her sentence? Well, she's not late yet, so we'll see. All blight, litter, debris on the exterior of the property must be cleaned up within 48 hours of the signing of this order. Sounds like a lot of that's been done. 2, the defendant, her or her agents may enter the house on the property and the garage for the sole purpose of removing property and disposing of the accumulation of items within each. The following parameters shall be followed. An unobstructed clear space of 30 inches width by 36 inches in depth by 6.5 feet in height shall be maintained around the electrical panel. The clear space shall not be used for storage. An unobstructed clear space of 30 by 30 shall be maintained in front of the control side of the furnace and water heater. All these are from the code. All doors to the sleeping areas and to the exterior shall be unobstructed and shall be open fully at least 90 degrees from closed. An unobstructed pathway of 36 inches in width or the width of the exterior doors shall be maintained from the exterior doors to all sleeping areas. So people can get out of there.
I don't have 36-inch doors,
All right, well, or the width of the doors, it says.
which is greater.
All right. An unobstructed pathway, we're on page 3 now, from the doorway of each sleeping area to the bed must be provided with a minimum equal width to that of the doorway serving the sleeping area. An unobstructed pathway from the bed in each sleeping area to the emergency escape window shall be maintained. Every emergency escape opening shall be easily openable and capable of being held in position by the window hardware. Access shall be provided to all electrical appliances and devices to confirm proper connection to the electrical system and that the circuitry is not overloaded. Each sleeping room shall have a smoke detector installed. That's city code. The hallway outside each sleeping room shall have a smoke and carbon monoxide detector installed. Also village code. The defendant shall eliminate all piled content from the heater and air conditioning registers to provide at least a 1 inch by 1 inch clear space around each. The defendant shall eliminate all piled content from the kitchen, such as the sink, refrigerator, stove, and appliances, so that all are accessible and can be used. Upon clearing the house of the accumulation of piled items and making the repair to the interior required by this order, the defendant shall contact the Township Ordinance Enforcement Officer Douglas Coolman in order for inspection to determine whether the occupancy can be authorized. So this is Mr. Coolman's effort to get you back in your house. The defendant shall have 60 days from the date of this order to effectuate the removal of piled items from the inside of the house and garage and to comply with paragraph 2 herein. Occupancy of the house and the attached garage shall only be permitted after the granting of an occupancy permit by the township building official. No person or animals shall sleep in this house until occupancy permit is granted. So these are just fundamental basic code requirements to make this house safely
He said that
habitable.
I could keep the dog because I don't have the board of television or the funding to put her up in a kennel. And where I'm staying, they've got,
Well, if you
dogs
can
and they
get
don't-
in the house for occupancy, the dog can come. It is further ordered that if the defendant does not pull the required permits and or does not achieve occupancy by no later than 45 days after the signing of this order, the effort to renew the structure shall be deemed abandoned, and it shall be demolished no later than 60 days after the signing of this order. I wouldn't do that unless we had another hearing, but it is further ordered that the building official and or ordinance enforcement officer shall be permitted to enter and inspect the house on the subject property between the hours of 8 and 5 for purposes of safety, progress, and compliance inspection until such time as the occupancy permit is granted. It is further ordered that if the defendant fails or refuses to abide by any of the provisions of this order, occupies the house without a permit, or enters the house for purposes not in accordance with this order, or fails or refuses to meet any of the deadlines, the court will enter an order requiring the defendant to show cause why she should not be found in contempt of the provisions of this order. So what this is a game plan to try to get your house made occupiable and ultimately cleaned up. If it is not able, if you aren't able to do that, then this village is going to ask me to have the house torn down. So this is very sad all the way around. This didn't just happen overnight, and we had the earlier case when Carl was still alive, and then he got sick and he got sicker and then he died. And so in the middle of all this, you're grieving. But this is a situation you can tell just by looking at the pictures that you guys were completely overwhelmed by the circumstances here. But this is a public health menace, fire hazard, eyesight hazard, and it just needs, it can't be like this. So this it sounds like you've been working on some things since December. Now we have the same problem every year. We get into fall and winter.
yeah,
It's
it's a
hard.
great time to.
It's hard
Yeah.
to do much on it when it's 16 degrees outside. There's snow on the ground, but what's the current status?
I've cleared out a little over half of the living room. I have boxes on the back porch, which I guess are a blight now. And I
Well,
set up a table so I can sort everything, so I have,
Yeah,
I have the
you-
space to
you-
get it out, but then I can't have the stuff outside.
no, you're gonna have to have,
Because-
you're gonna have to have the stuff outside to clear this up. You can't, I can't, looking at those pictures, I can't even, of course, I've seen lots of these, but there was even room to live in there. Plus you had a,
Well, part of that is getting my husband out. He, because of the ketoacidosis, he was hallucinating and became violent. My son came in and he was very angry and didn't know what to do. So he took totes where they were stacked and threw them to the point like my front window has cracks in the casing. So it wasn't, not that it was any better, a lot better, but it used to be in like boxes and I had like rows of boxes that we were sorting through because like I don't need 6 pairs of drapes for the front window and that.
where did you
that kind of
get all
things.
this stuff?
Well, my grandmother passed and I inherited a bunch of stuff. My best friend passed and her mom had passed just a couple months before she did. And her son just brought it over like a truckload and just dumped it and like gone. And I became like a central holding point. And I've asked numerous times, come get your shit. Well, now it's just gone. I mean, and a lot of my things are gone.
All right,
Like my husband built little funky metal sculptures out of like everything. Like he'd take a pie server and bend it up and make it a scorpion, or a spoon and bend it and make it a flamingo. I mean, he did some of the coolest little funky artwork and it's all gone. They took my powder coated, which are outside. They took my powder coated plant stands. They took and just the teacups and saucers and the teapot. They took every planter I had like that. They're all gone. And I don't understand how that is not an outdoor. I mean, they took the 16 bags of mulch for the front of the house and they're gone. The red rubber mulch, it's all gone. They took my leaf gutter guards, still in the plastic on my potting stand. It's gone.
well, it wasn't their job under my order to sort out what was just a giant pile of
Right, but
stuff.
no, these were, the planters were all on the table and
Well, all right, I don't know what to say about it, but you let it get to the
Well, I know,
situation,
I
they
did, but-
couldn't tell what was good and what wasn't. Everything just went. So can you comply with the terms of this?
I don't know if
order?
I could get it done in 60 days or 45 days, actually, because it says 45 days to comply.
Well, we are in the middle of January.
I
I'll concede
know.
that. Mr. Coolman, can we modify those dates?
I don't have a problem modifying the dates. I would just like to make a couple comments, Your Honor, if I may.
All right.
Yes, it sounds egregious on the village to do a demolition of this house because the house is not in that bad a condition structurally, I don't believe. However, we had most local contractors will not touch this house because of the potential biohazard. So I had to get a company that would be willing to clean this house up. Just cleaning out the debris from this company that's trained in biohazard, the quote came in at over $35,000. So it would be more economical for the village to just tear it down as to spend $35,000. Additionally, I think we can amend these timeframes all we want, but Ms. Nickerson has another problem that as of April 1st of 2025, the county is taking this property for tax foreclosure. She has over $3,000 in back taxes on this property.
Well, she has time to redeem that. So, yeah, there's a lot of heartache here.
And like he said, he couldn't get help through CMH or DHS for me. So nobody calls me back. Everybody says they call, but nobody has called me. From the 12th of November, when I called Bill Burgoyne, he said, call the courts. The court said, call Doug. I talked to Doug the Friday before Thanksgiving. And he had left me a message back that he said he couldn't do anything because the court had signed the order or whatever. And Bill's answer to it was, it's just a bunch of garbage. You're going to lose it all anyway. And just tell her I'm not in. And this is what he told the clerk when I called to talk to him numerous times.
Well, it's your home. It was your home with your husband, and I don't like the idea of demolishing it and having a gap tooth on the street.
And how many hours did I lose with my husband that I could have
All right, well,
spent there? because I was trying to just to hustle everything, and it's so much, and I lost my insurance when I lost him, so I have no mental health. I don't have
Well, we don't,
and it's just the point where I don't have a second to breathe.
all right, so am I setting you up to fail?
I hope not.
I'm gonna change these dates to 90 days, and Miss Priest, nothing is gonna happen until we have another hearing.
I mean, everybody has been through my yard. They won't even, the police won't even come out when I call, when people are, they just went through and they took whatever was on the yard. They opened up the hopper, I closed it, I tried to throw everything back in. And now I'm getting accused of it. They wouldn't even answer the phone.
Well, there's a term for that. It's called an attractive nuisance. Because it's so bad, it attracts not only
But
raccoons.
we had not had a problem until they put that hopper in.
Well,
I mean, they took my dad's 4 snow tires for the truck, and they were in the kennel behind the doghouse. They took one of the doghouses. They were in the kennel behind the doghouse, and they took everything from behind the shed that is fenced off. You cannot see it from the road. And Bill assured us that as long as you cannot see it from the road, it is okay. So they took all our camping gear, our fishing gear, my totes. They just threw it all away. They took all my compost. I don't know why, but they took every.
if I do nothing here, well, I say, all right, good luck, go home and clean this up. Nothing will happen. You don't, and I wish I had a better answer to this. There's no magic agency that comes in and cleans all this up. It falls back on the village, and it's expensive. This is costing the village $50,000 probably before it's all done. And they would rather you cleaned up your house and got to live in it than they
Right.
tear it down. But it can't go on like this.
Oh, I totally understand that. I do, and I agree, but I've only got so many hours in the day.
I'm disappointed that adult PS, did they even come out and talk to you?
They came out on, I forget the day. Carl had just went into the hospital. And this Madeline, whatever, just barged her way into the house. She said she absolutely had to be in to look at the house, blah, blah, blah. And which I found out was a lie. She handed me a wadded up card with her name on it. No signage, no vest, no hat, no lanyard with a, so she could have been anybody. But she ended up calling my husband. Thank God he woke up. And yeah, because they had told, there was a comment made about the color of Carl's legs. He was 58 years old, diabetic, overweight. His legs had been purple since like 04 when he had his first abdominal surgery of the 3. And we were told that it was, it could be heavy metal and just poor circulatory. Well, one of the nurses made comment on the color of his legs were that of like when you see an old lady who fallen in the tub and been on the ground for like 4 days. So he told CPS that it was, I had let my husband lay on the floor for 4 days. And we had just been to my mom and dad's and my little brother's house at like 10 o'clock. We left my mom and dad's like at 9:30. And then we stopped and dropped a box off for my mom, my little brothers. And then we went home. And I tried to talk Carl into going to the hospital. And he said he was going to jump out of the truck. And if I would have known that, then I probably would have let him jump out of the truck and taken to, they would went to the emergency room either way.
Well, I let you go here. I'm
that's
not
so
sure if I
horrible.
let this go, it'll go about 97 minutes, but adult PS came, looked at the house and said goodbye.
Yeah, yep. And told him that it was environmentally unfriendly and, but at that time we were looking at probably 6 months rehab. He'd have to be in a rehab facility. So I had, some time.
Your Honor, if I
Do you
may,
have anyone that's helping you with
No.
this? No help. Do you have a vehicle?
Yes, I have 3.
Do you have any source of income?
No. No, and until they get now the death certificate's wrong, and until they get that corrected, I can't access anything.
Where is that hang up?
They put my last name as Treese. And they put my birth date as 1979.
Who's they?
I don't know if it was the state, the medical examiner. I'd get it through Dan
Jan Tukowski?
Thank you, at Farrand. And I just picked up his death certificate and caught it yesterday.
Where are you staying?
I'm couch surfing.
Is there heat on in the house?
Yes. And electric and gas and water. Yeah, all the utilities are on.
Well, that's a cause for concern just for fire hazard. You're not there, the heat's on and it's very
Well,
cold.
we've got gas alarms, carbon monoxide, heat detectors and smoke detectors throughout the whole house.
Well, what I propose we do is we get through the depth of the winter and see what we can accomplish here. What's the current status of the exterior of the house? Mr. Coolman?
There's still some stuff out there, and then again, like she's indicated, she's been bringing some stuff out to sort it, so it's not in the best of condition, but obviously you and I have seen worse.
Well, to some extent, she has to bring it out to sort it. All right, can you?
One of the problems, Your Honor, is this is right across the street from the school, so it's a heavy traffic area and everybody sees it and everybody complains.
Not all of it's seen from the road because the back side of the house, you can't see from the front.
Well, you could see it from the aerial picture, how bad it was. I don't think you could see it from satellite from outer space, but it's in the middle of town, right across from the street, from the school, and people are complaining about it. On behalf of the village, Ms. Gushwine, I changed the dates to 90 days to get us into the spring. Can the village consent to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Priest Nickerson, can you accept this order?
I'm gonna try.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
So I did, this call came from Adult Protective Services on the original complaint. I again reached out to Adult Protective Services on January the 6th of this year. They indicated there was nothing they could do. I called St. Joe County Community Mental Health. They assured me they would call Miss Nickerson. Doesn't sound like they have, but I've since been told that if I could get a hold of Miss Nickerson, which I've tried, Covered Bridge Health in Centerville apparently will offer services, and because of her financial situation, may very well offer her assistance at no cost.
Very good. All right, I'm going to continue this matter. Which we almost always do. And we always struggle through the winter. To monitor the progress of this, I have a couple of these set for this afternoon. About 90 days from now, maybe the snow will be melted. February, March, April 15th. Let's set this for Wednesday, April 23rd at 1:30.
By Zoom or in person, Your Honor?
Zoom. Ms. Nickerson, this order has Mr. Coolman's phone number in it.
Yeah, we've been in touch before this even became a
He
thing.
has been reaching out to try to find some help from you, and it sounds like Covered Bridge might be willing to provide some assistance. So I want you to call Mr. Coolman, and he will provide that additional information. And I want you to make as much progress as you can in this between now and April 23rd. perhaps we get an occupancy permit, you can move back into your own house. My preference would be that you save this rather than it goes up for tax sale and gets torn down.
Hopefully I can access some funds, yeah, because I mean, everything's locked. It's just how the law works on that.
All right, the order, we'll send you a copy. The order that I have, that you have, I changed each of the deadlines to 90 days. And as consent, I said Aaron Geschwint on behalf of the village was
Is there
consent on the record.
Is there a
and
way
record
that,
made.
not that, because of everything that's been going on, I don't want people just in and out of my house whenever. I should have some semblance of privacy.
Yes,
Can we make that so, you know, if he wants to come over like on a Tuesday at like 3?
yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
that's essentially what it says.
No, it says he can
Permitted to enter and
liquidate
inspect the
5.
house, but yeah, he'll contact you first.
Yeah, because I want to make sure that I don't have something going on that day
All right,
and that I can have somebody there with me.
let's see how we can do between now and April.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
Um,
All right,
I
you're
don't
free
think
to
so.
go. This Geschwint, I'll give you a copy of that order. It's a little scratched up the way I did it, but the content is the same. Mr. Coolman, thank you, and that was received as Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, you're free to go.
all right, thank you.
Pause. Wait right there for just one. Ladies and gentlemen, the saturation situation has become untenable. So real quick, I'm going to see if I can fix that situation. But while we do that, enjoy some of the docile tune. Often. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Here we go. We're almost there. This is live production, ladies and gentlemen. This is live production. That's right. That's right. That's how it's done right there, ladies and gentlemen. All the goodness, back to business. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. This is an interesting case to me. Hope it is to you. We're moving in to this past week, August 13th. Skipping over all the other meetings they might have had between now and then, but Judge Middleton is going to fill us in on the events of those meetings. We'll get to see some pictures of what things look like today. Check it out, shall we? No more music.
Was it received as Exhibit 1?
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
We've got 2 cases on Rebecca Lynn Nickerson. File number is 242246ON. That's zoning violation. That's what's actually set for today. And you also have a warrant out for your arrest for
Just found that out.
a retail fraud charge, and we'll address that here before we're done. But they set it here because they knew you were going to be here today. So let's talk about the zoning case. Aaron Geschwint from the Geschwint Law Firm is present, along with Mr. Doug Coolman, the zoning administrator for White Pigeon. This is a property on Hodgson Street in White Pigeon that we've been shepherding for months, perhaps years. We had our compliance order is in effect. Our last hearing was January 15th.
May 7th.
I keep going here. I continued it to May 7th. The house was in some tax foreclosure posture. Then we had a second hearing on May 7th. Property taxes were paid. Defendant had some health problems. She was continued to work on the property, and I continued the matter until today, August 13th, try to get where we needed to be. There's a supplemental report dated today, which I have not yet seen. And let's see where we are. Ms. Nickerson, will you raise your right hand? Your right hand.
Oh, sorry.
And Mr. Coleman, you both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Ms. Geschwind, what's our status here today?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the status is completely unchanged. When we go through the photos later, we'll see that very little, if anything, has been done to continue the property or continue to clean up on the property. Quite frankly, the dwelling unit itself is still unfit for human habitation. It is dangerous inside of there. And I think the photographs, when we go through them, will speak for itself. So at this time, should the court find that the defendant has not properly cleaned up the property, I will be asking for a consent order enforcing the ordinance, or a compliance order enforcing the ordinance.
There's one in effect. All right, are you gonna ask to move in Officer Coleman's report and photographs?
Yes, at this time I will. Mr. Coleman, did you do an inspection on the property at 300 Hutchin Avenue?
Yes, I did.
Did you take photographs?
Yes, I did.
And did you compile a report?
Yes, I did.
And if you saw that report again, would you recognize it?
Yes, I would.
We're getting it on the screen.
All right, you want, I'll.
Is this your report? Mr.
All right, well,
Coleman?
just, yes,
This was not, they were not supposed to do anything. If they wanted to come onto the property, they were supposed to give me a 24-hour notice.
all right,
And this
well,
was agreed upon in January.
And Mr. Coleman did not enter the property.
I think he took it from adjoining properties. So let me see if I can get this up.
Your Honor, I have printed copies if you would prefer.
Well, let's see if I can do this.
And I was also made aware that I could have stuff outside to move it, to get stuff out of the house. And as I stated earlier, I have a trailer coming in the next few days to get to the dump.
All right.
All right,
Mr. Coleman,
just a minute. All right, so, you took 7 photographs today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what are we seeing here in the first photograph?
Well, this is the front yard of the dwelling. Grass is getting a little tall, like it needs to be mowed, and I'm sure with the rain and the heat that we just received.
My grass looks like that right now. I said I wasn't gonna mow it till rain, so I guess I need to mow it tonight.
So I mean, right now, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm sure it's gonna be a bone of contention before too long if it doesn't get mowed.
All right, next picture.
This is a picture from the corner of Hodgson Street showing her driveway. Does appear that both vehicles now are in operational mode, so hopefully we're good there.
They are operational, makes it sound like they're not working. Both cars are functioning and properly plated.
Yes.
My opinion is yes, they are.
All right. All right, so the front and side don't look too bad. We're still got the back. You didn't need to go on our property to take these pictures. What are we seeing?
No, Your Honor, all photographs today were taken from the public roadways. This is that canopy section where in the past we have given permission to let her sort things out. Not quite as bad as December of 2024, but it's right up there as a close second to it. So there's a large.
Well, we saw
All of that,
pictures.
like I said, all of that is ready to go. I just need to get
All
a
right,
way to facilitate it.
okay. What are we seeing here?
This is a photograph of the backyard, back by the accessory buildings. It's got some debris and stuff back there that she's got out in the yard.
That was okayed when they cleared it out on December 16th of 2024. They left that. I was told that that was okay to have, just like it is.
All right, well, I'm not clear on that, but this is the mess that,
Well, that's ready to go.
all right,
Just
well,
have to have
I told you in May, we're
Mhm.
gonna have a hearing today. So it should have been ready to go.
Well, it has, but with the, like you said, with the heat
We
and
we had
and I-
May, June, July, and you wait until August 13th and it isn't done yet. I adjourned it from December to May. Nothing much happened from December to May. Then I said, okay, you gave me all these promises. I thought we
didn't
can
come
do
in in
this.
December.
Summer's here. Let's get this done. Now you tell me it's still gonna happen. Additional photograph of the backyard.
Yes, looking towards the house. Yes, Your Honor.
And these are all fair and accurate pictures of what you saw here today.
Yes, they are.
And I have been trying, and it's just me, and I didn't do this by myself in a year or 2 years. But it's just me cleaning it up, and I've had 6 months.
Yes.
And I am trying, and you can definitely tell that I've made huge.
I don't see any progress between May 7th and now. In fact, it got worse at one point. It got better and then it got worse. I guess that's it for the 7 photographs. What's the significance of this? There's a storage trailer, which
So
appears
if you
to
look
be
in front of the shed, Your Honor, there's a bed frame and
some other junk that needs to get out
stuff
of there.
sitting there in
It's
front of the
ready to
shed,
go.
yes.
Right.
Your Honor, and I understand she has a lot of stuff in this house, but we've been swinging this bat for 8 months now. I would certainly like to request the courts that the house is still unfit for human habitation because we have not done an interior inspection. But I would think after 8 months that at least the garage would be cleaned out enough that she can do her sorting in the garage and not store all this stuff outside.
I can do that.
As
That's
the
what you want.
villages, I'm catching a little heat from the villages to the status of this property.
I'm sure, and they're unhappy with the judge that keeps giving people extensions and then the problem doesn't get rectified.
I can do, if he wants it in the garage, I can do that.
I want it gone.
Okay.
Now, what are you asking for? I find that the exhibit, the report and the 7 attached photographs may be admitted as exhibit 1 for the date of this hearing and have been considered and shared with the defendant. So that's admitted. Ms. Kishwant, what do you want in your compliance order?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, quite frankly, I think that we waited until the very last moment in this, and I think that looming deadlines certainly are something that creates motivation, but we've been here for, as this court said, 8 months.
Well, here's the order that I entered in January.
Yep.
All blight, litter, debris must be cleaned up within 48 hours of the signing of this order. The defendant or agent's sole purpose of removing. So she made some progress, but there's a compliance order in effect, 90 days to effectuate removal of all the piled items from inside the house. It was 40 and 60, 45 and 60, and I extended it to 90 because it's always hard in January to get people to be able to clean things up. And so then we had a hearing in May, and then I extended it until now.
Right. You also have to understand that I just lost my husband.
I am aware of
And it is
that.
very hard to go through these things. Most people get, any psychologist, any counselor will tell you, you have a year before you even need to think about touching any of your spouse's
All right,
belongings.
well,
And I have been forced to do this in 90 days. And that's not fair. It's not fair psychologically. It has taken a toll on me that it's crippling.
well, the original, this case goes back a long ways. This is a 2024 case.
In my
And-
husband's name alone, yes.
Yes, and so then he passed away and left you with this big mess.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's our mess. It's not just, it
all
wasn't
right,
just
but
his.
again, the village is on their
I know.
case and, we're sick of this. People are, and so
understand.
they consider that you're grieving, but you've let me down.
They don't, but I
All right,
haven't, I've consistently taking things out, that all moves. I'm just waiting on a trailer to get, so I can, a trailer that I need to borrow to get there, and everything will be back out of the bag. I know I need to mow. I had to get a new fuel filter for my tractor.
Your lawn's okay. Everybody needs to mow. You'll get
Well-
that taken care of, but you need all this crap out of there.
I'm trying,
Your
sir.
neighbors
I'm
are
trying.
mad, the village is mad, they're on their attorney.
I
They're,
know. They
every
want-
time
they
we
want my
have one of
property.
these hearings, it costs the village
I know.
$500. And attorney fees and fees. And so, the appeal period is 21 days.
What's that?
You have 21 days to clean this up or the village is gonna come do
On
it.
the outside.
Yes,
Okay.
they're gonna come take everything and give you a bill and spread it on the tax roll. 21 days to comply with the terms of the January 16th compliance order.
On the inside of the house.
I'm not addressing the inside of the house at this hearing.
Okay.
Are you living in there?
I was told I
think so.
couldn't.
You can't.
I would ask that that provision remain no human or domestic animal in the house.
Yes. I'm not oblivious to the fact that you're struggling. Everybody in this situation is struggling. They've got a hoarding disorder. They've got, they've got a mental illness that complies hoarding. They've got grief. They've got addiction. They've got no money. I'd fix this up if I had $10,000, but I don't. I'm barely keeping the lights on. And this judge is asking me to do all this expensive stuff. But the zoning prohibits you from doing this, and they've been working with your husband and you for several years.
No.
And so you got 21 days to do it or they're gonna do it.
Okay.
And nobody reside in the house. It's a cute little house. And it's on bad shape on the inside. I've seen lots of bad things. So I would like you to get this either in a building, off the property, at the landfill, gone. But I gave you additional time, more than what the township, the village wanted back in January. And then you told me you were gonna do this in May, but my patience has run out. You got 21 days to do it, or the village is gonna do it. All right, let's talk about your other case. In the meantime, all the other problems you have, you got charged with retail fraud.
Yeah,
I don't say anything. Mr. George, would you act as the public defender for this? Thank you. You're charged with retail fraud in the 3rd degree. They allege you're at the Walmart. No, well, this is under state law, Walmart store in Three Rivers. And you took property worth less than $200. Walmart's where everybody likes to do their retail fraud. They recognize you from before. They allege you put items under a shopping cart, self-scam, paid for the items in the cart, but did not pay for the items underneath the cart. They were watching you from the time you came into the store. You argued with them and then left the store. My advice, Ms. Nickerson, is that you plead not guilty, and I get a lawyer to help you with this. You understand? Is that agreeable with you? All right. I'm going to recall the warrant that's out for your arrest. Plead not guilty. Appointed attorney. Said attorney pretrial for September 5th. We're gonna be very busy that day. We've been very busy the last few First Fridays at 8:30. They have a video of this, I'm guessing. She stole a total of 8 items worth $80.30. So I can't tell what this is. We'll get the police report. And get an attorney to help you. Recall warrant. That allegedly occurred in June. The warrant was authorized in June. The clerks, somebody picked up on the fact that you were set to be here today and set the arraignment, so you didn't get arrested. And that's a blessing for you. All right, I'm gonna have the court officers take you out and get your court-appointed attorney paperwork. Ms. Geschwand is gonna prepare an order saying you got 21 days to clean this up. It'll be 21 days from the date I signed the order. So it'll be 23 days or so. So all the progress you make will save you grief later. All right, you're free. Well, good morning, everybody. This is something we haven't done in some time. These are some show causes in zoning matters. They all happen to be from Colon Township, where there were compliance orders in effect and the people are not in compliance with the orders. We have 4 people scheduled and 2 of the 4 are here, which I do appreciate. Lance Thornton, who is the township attorney for Colon Township, is present, and their zoning enforcement officer, Vaughn Reed, is also present. Let's start with Macy Davis. Ms. Davis, would you unmute your mic? Are you Macy Davis? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. This is file number 242251, zoning violations. Got lots of history in it. You were making some payments. In fact, Mr. Thornton, she paid in July and paid again yesterday, made a payment regarding this. Let me get into that file. The original ticket was people living in an RV, and you can do it for a little while, but not in most jurisdictions. You can't do there permanently. Compliance order was signed and entered on March 25th, and it included
April 1st, Your Honor.
Okay, it's date stamped. It was filed March 17th, signed April 1st. Yes, thank you. Defendant was ordered to pay attorney fees and safe bill costs for a total of $250. I'm not really sure why this is on here because it looks to me like the defendant has been making payments regularly. Ms. Davis,
Yes,
I see that you made a payment in May. You made a payment in June. You made another payment in June.
I've been making payments every 2 weeks.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure why this is on here. You seem to be in compliance.
I can explain, Your Honor.
Okay,
Under the compliance, it's not a payment issue. I understand that payments are being made.
okay.
It's a compliance issue in that within 10 days after the order, they were supposed to prohibit anyone, including themselves, from living in the RV. And as stated in the motion for the show cause order, Mr. Reed went out on May 6th.
To it.
And the travel trailer was still occupied. A generator was still running and hooked to it. It's my understanding. And that was the reason for the compliance order, not non-payment.
Here's the motion. Township's enforcement officer inspected the property on May 6th and reported the travel trailer appears to still be occupied. Generator still in use. Timothy Vorty, who's also here, was approached by the officer, was in taking pictures. Defendants were to cause anyone living in the trailer to vacate by 4/11. There's a show cause as to why the enforcement order should not be enforced and why you should not be in contempt for violating the order. So it is more than just paying $20 a month. Mr. Vorty and Ms. Davis, will you both please raise your right hand? Mr. Reed, I might as well have you swear as well. You all swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
Yes.
This has come up, not just in Colon Township, but in other jurisdictions as well. This was listed on Howard Drive. Howard Drive. I'm not sure exactly where that is. Ms. Davis, is the trailer still located there?
Yes,
Is anyone living in it?
yes,
Who lives in it?
we do. We still do.
You and Mr. Vorty?
Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Thornton, how soon do you want me to enforce this? Today? 7 days?
7 days is fine, Your Honor. I don't want to put them out immediately, but we've got to terminate the use of that RV.
Thank you for making your payments, but no thank you for just ignoring my order. Let's repeat what it says. In addition to fines and costs imposed in this matter, court deems it appropriate to require compliance with orders. Within 10 days from the entry of the order, defendant shall cause anyone living in or sleeping in a recreational vehicle on the subject property to vacate the vehicle, shall not allow anyone to live in or sleep in the recreational vehicle parked on subject property thereafter. Any recreational vehicle stored outdoors in the property shall be stored in compliance with the township zoning ordinance. The companion case is People versus Mr. Tim Vorty. Now, While this case is pending, the township's agents may enter onto the property periodically and inspect the property, determine whether defendant is complying with this order. The court retains jurisdiction to enforce this order. If the defendant fails to comply with any part of this order upon request, the court will enter a show cause order requiring the defendant to appear before the court and show cause why they should not be held in contempt of court. If needed, the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Department shall assist the township with the enforcement of this order by providing a deputy to be present when the township officials or agents need to enter on the property to carry out the terms of this order. So that's what was ordered. It's not just Colon Township. As a rule, you can't just live on an RV on a parcel of property. Are there children there also?
Yes.
How many
We don't
kids?
have anywhere else to live. We literally spent all of our money to buy this property, to build the house that we're trying to get the contractor to do. And we have the house there. We just have to get the foundation in and get it on there. We've been trying to do this. Our contractor called Safe Build once and they wouldn't even talk to him. So we have been trying, and we're not trying to ignore your order at all. We just really have nowhere else to go.
You can go to a campground.
Those are expensive and we don't have any extra money left. Like I said, we spent everything we've had trying to get this done, and we're not on a generator anymore. We have electric hooked up. We have been making steps and
As I indicated, this has come up a number of times over the last few years. I don't make the rules.
I
The
know that.
township doesn't want you to do this. I filed an order that said you can't do it and you've ignored it. So what I'm doing now is essentially making you and your family homeless. But within 7 days, you need to relocate that RV off that property. There are all kinds of issues with this. There's electrical issues. You got a generator. Generators can be dangerous when hooked up.
Like I said, we have power now. We don't have a generator.
All right, we have power now. There's septic issues. This not hooked up to water and septic. There are children there. We've had all kinds of bad experiences. Mr. Vorty, I'm gonna mute your microphone. I haven't asked you anything. Anyway, there are issues. They don't just do it because they're mean. You can't do it. Whether I think it's okay or not, most townships don't allow you to put an RV on a piece of property and live in it. In fact, at this point, you can't even cite a single wide trailer anywhere, even if it has plumbing and water and sewer. So it just, that's the circumstance. So you have 7 days to move it, or the sheriff's gonna come put everybody out of it.
Does the travel trailer itself have to be moved as long as, or do we just not have to stay there? Because I really don't have a way or a vehicle to move the trailer itself.
Yes, you can vacate the trailer and not reside in it. I don't know that there's a prohibition from parking it there if it's plated. Is that correct, Mr. Thornton?
That's correct, Your Honor. It has to have a current license plate and be operable. So meaning it could go down the road if needed, pulled behind something.
So one option is just move it someplace. Maybe someplace that will let you park a trailer, hopefully somewhere outside of St. Joseph County. Or the other option is to vacate it. And if you don't vacate it within 7 days, the sheriff's gonna come put you out. In fact, Lance, I'm gonna treat this like an eviction. we'll use 10 days, which is the standard for summary proceedings.
That's fine. Your Honor.
So now the other issue, which I'm not really wrestling with right now, is contempt. You could be found in contempt and I could order a sanction, including criminal contempt. I have a case right now where I've repeatedly told the guy not to be there, and he was there. And Constantine Township is asking me to put him in jail for 90 days. He didn't show up for his hearing yesterday, so I have a bench warrant for his arrest. So they're not seeking criminal contempt at this point. They're just seeking compliance. But ultimately, they could ask me to find you in contempt for violating the order. I'm going to order another $250 cost, which is counterproductive because they need money to do what they're doing, but the township is spending money to pursue this enforcement. So, Mr. Thornton, you may produce an order that says the defendants are in violation of the compliance order of April 1st. They have 10 days to either vacate all residency of this unit and or relocate it. And the fine and costs are $250. We'll make it as part of existing payment plan. It's not fine and costs, it's restitution to the township. Ms. Davis, I don't really enjoy this, but you were told what
No,
was
because
going to
I didn't
happen.
show up for the first hearing and because I didn't even know about it, but that's okay.
Well, you knew
It's
about
fine.
it
You
as
have to do what you have to do.
Yes, all right. Mr. Vorty, you're in the
And
same boat.
these people that work for that company, they don't help and they don't listen to you. And I've tried to talk to them and get what I need to get, and they just laughed at me. So it's okay. I'm just gonna leave with my children like I needed to. I'm sorry
All right.
that I made your job harder. It was not my intention. Like I said, just don't have anywhere else to go, and my children go to school there.
Yes, I understand. All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure you do.
Mr. Vorty, I'll remove you also. Lance, I've had these, as I just mentioned, in other counties. You and I have had a couple of these in the past as well. And I don't know what the answer is. People don't have anywhere to go. But every township probably has this. You can't simply cite an RV. It's going to start to get cold. In the other case, it was bad. All right, so that encompasses both Mr. Vorty and Ms. Davis. I'll put the $250 fine in Ms. Davis's, or restitution in Ms. Davis's case. I'm not going to order $250 each. Good afternoon, sir. Are you James Charles Jude?
Yeah,
Mr. Jude, you're set for a preliminary examination this afternoon on a charge of home invasion, 3rd degree, and malicious destruction of personal property over 200 but less than 1,000. It's alleged that on or about May 15, 2024, that you did break and enter into a home at Hiawatha Drive in Sherman Township. You also did damage to the window or other property at the house. You were arrested on this charge. You were arraigned, and the matter was set for a pre-exam conference. That was last Tuesday. Rhonda Ives was appointed to represent you, and she's here today. Also present is prosecuting attorney David Marvin. When we were here last Tuesday, we didn't get very far. As I understand it, you didn't wish to speak to Ms. Ives, and we didn't get very far, so we simply said we would schedule the matter for a preliminary examination. And that was set for today at 1 o'clock. A preliminary examination is a hearing where it must be established there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed and probable cause that you did it. I met with Mr. Marvin and your lawyer, Ms. Ives, in chambers, and he was trying to fashion some sort of a disposition in the interest of the public good, I'll say. And then both lawyers went back to talk to you in the lockup. And as I understand it, again today, Mr. Jude, you don't really wish to communicate with your lawyer, and so they weren't able to even get started as to anything. Mr. Marvin, what's your position here?
Your Honor, I believe that in talking with him, that he does not understand or appreciate the nature of the charges against him. And I don't think, from my opinion, that he could effectively assist in his own defense. I don't think it would be right to continue to pursue this without some kind of a competency. I don't say that very often. I usually advocate against it. But in this case, I do believe that it would be unfair.
Ms. Ives, what's your position?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, I will clearly state that he is either unwilling or not able to assist in his defense. He has made some statements that to me are not rational, including the fact that the victim, Mr. Jude, who supposedly is either his adopted father or father, is not his father at all. So I have serious concerns about his competency and his ability to assist in his defense, specifically stating that he has not, when we try to talk about defenses, he doesn't want to offer any information. So it puts me in a quandary, Your Honor, and I would respectfully ask the court to refer the matter for a competency evaluation.
You agree, Mr. Marvin?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Jude, in order to defend you, there has to be some communication between you and your attorney. Ms. Ives is an experienced attorney. She's been practicing probably 20 years or more in Branch County here in St. Joe County. And she was unable to really establish any communication to discuss your case. So they're requesting that I ask to have you examined at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry for your competence.
No, I'm good on that.
Competence means that you
I
are,
shouldn't even be here.
what's that?
I shouldn't even be here.
Well,
You have nothing on me.
well, it isn't me. I didn't make the charge. Somebody else filed the charge. The police submitted a report to the
I should be
prosecutor. The
locked up
prosecutor.
for false claims.
All right. So that's your opinion. The whole thing is false and you don't really want to discuss it.
What's there to talk about? I shouldn't be here.
All right. We are here. So I can't wave my magic wand and make this go away. And both counsel are asking me to have you evaluated for competency.
I'm not answering no question.
All right. You don't have to. I don't know whether you're just unwilling to cooperate or unable to or both, but as a result of that, they can't even start to mount any defense. This is going to take months. You're going to be in custody pending this evaluation from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. And Mr. Marvin indicates he usually tries to avoid it for the very reason that it takes so long to get it done. But your attitude is what it is. So I'm ordering that you shall undergo a
I
psychiatric
got the right to
evaluation.
remain silent. That's what I'm doing,
Yeah, all right, then you do.
which I've never been read my rights. Not once.
All right, that's another misunderstanding. They only need to read you your rights if they want to ask you questions and use your statements against you. They don't have to read you your rights to
What do
arrest
you got
you.
against?
put you into custody?
Nothing.
All right, your answer is nothing, and I'm gonna
What do you got?
have you examined at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. I'm not having any more success than anybody else did, so you can go to the court officer. Your bond will remain in the amount of $20,000 cash assured. Take me back so I can go to sleep. Apparently he's quite worried about it. Anyway, this may take a while. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Are you James Juday?
yeah,
Would you rather stand or would you like to sit down?
I'm good.
All right, I'll leave you standing if you're all right with that. This is file number 24803FY. It's entitled People of the State of Michigan versus James Charles Juday. Mr. Juday is presently connected by a Zoom link from the jail. His lawyer, Rhonda Ives, is here with me at the courthouse, and Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Joshua Robert is here. Mr. Juday, to recap, you got charged on May 15th with home invasion in the 3rd degree for a dwelling on Hiawatha Drive in Sherman Township. That's a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $2,000. You also got charged with malicious destruction of personal property. You broke a window allegedly and spray painted some things on the house. That's a misdemeanor alleged to be over 200 but less than $1,000.
None of it's true,
Punishable
and so why am I here?
All right, here's why you're here. The matter was set for a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference. Your attorney,
Yeah.
Rhonda Ives, was appointed to represent you, and you basically wouldn't talk to her.
There's nothing to say. I didn't do nothing.
All right, well, so we've referred the matter for a competency evaluation at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. And we got a report from the Forensic Center on August 13th. It was date stamped August 16th. We're supposed to set a hearing in that matter within 5 days of the receipt of that report. Today's 4 days after we received it. So this is a hearing regarding your competency to proceed. You've been stuck in jail now for 97 days and the case has just been on hold.
It'd be nice to get a real lawyer too.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. Mr. Robert, on behalf of the state, are you willing to stipulate to the admissibility of the report?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is dated August 13th from Carissa Carlson, PhD, a consulting forensic examiner and licensed psychologist with the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. Ms. Ives, are you willing to stipulate to that report?
I would stipulate to it, but I object to the conclusion that's been made in the report based on the lack of review of an interview of the defendant.
All right.
You want me to plead guilty to something I didn't do? There's nothing to talk about.
Well, I don't necessarily want you to plead guilty. You're entitled to have a trial. And your lawyer is willing to represent you at a trial, but in order to do that, you have to talk to her. No one's trying to get you to plead guilty to anything. We're trying to just move forward with the case. And
I did talk to her.
All right, well, here's what the psychologist says. First of all, competency has to do with your state of mind right now, today, and the day of the trial. Criminal responsibility, sometimes referred to as insanity, has to do with your state of mind at the time of the offense. We're not concerned about that right now. We're just concerned about your state of mind now. I get the sense that you're an intelligent guy, but you got some oppositional issues. The statute, the competency statute says, a defendant to a criminal charge shall be presumed to be competent to stand trial. He shall be determined incompetent to stand trial only if he is incapable, because of his mental condition, of understanding the nature and object of the proceedings against him, or assisting in his defense in a rational manner. The court shall determine the capacity of the defendant to assist in his defense by his ability to perform the task reasonably necessary for him to perform in the preparation of his defense. So the examiner didn't get very far with you. The video conference lasted about 5 minutes. Mr. Jude terminated the interview prior to being asked questions about his legal case and understanding of the proceedings. He demonstrated the ability to advocate for himself as evidenced by his understanding that he could terminate the interview. So here's the doctor's opinion, Mr. Jude. I was unable to thoroughly assess Mr. Jude's mental condition at the time of the present examination due to his declining to participate in the evaluation. Because of this, I was unable to directly ask him questions to assess his understanding of the nature and object of the proceedings against him, or to assess his ability to rationally assist in his defense. So they didn't get very far. Then she goes on to state, an opinion on competency is required regardless of the level of participation of Mr. Jude. The time of the evaluation is reported refusing all psychiatric medication.
I don't need medication.
All right, okay, that's, in my opinion, due to the limited, well, let me finish this last part, then I'll let you tell me what you want to tell me.
Go ahead and look.
Well, okay.
That's how I'm being treated in here.
All right. In my opinion, due to the limitation of not being able to directly evaluate Mr. Jude myself, and my understanding of the statute, one has to opine the presumption of competency. So their opinion is that you're competent. You're standing there with no shirt on. You're trying to show me how thin you are because of
how I'm being treated in here. Yeah.
All right.
Exactly what I'm doing.
All right. So you showed me that because of how skinny you are?
No, how I'm being treated in here. Boys and gas, all that shit, you know about it.
So that isn't exactly a rousing endorsement for the doctor to find that you're competent. Mr. O'Bear, you have any thing to say about this?
In my review of the statute, the only other possible thing that I can see is for Ms. Ives to request an independent evaluation as one of the outcomes of this hearing. But it says that because of the presumption that the Center of Forensic Psychiatry or other facility officially certified by the Department of Mental Health will properly perform their functions, good cause justifying an independent competency examination should only arise in exceptional cases. So I guess that's one possible option. I don't know if any evaluation by any other person would result in a different outcome based on his unwillingness to participate.
All right, Ms. Ives, what's your position?
Well, Your Honor, I have some serious concerns if they're not able to fully interview the defendant. I don't believe that an accurate determination can be made, and based on statements that he made to me prior to, that caused my request for the competency evaluation causes me some great concern. I'm also concerned the fact that there were reports from the jail that the jail was supposed to send, and they if I look on page 2, those records were supposed to be sent on August 8th promptly, and then as of the date of the report on August 13th, those records were not received. I'm not sure what is in those records, and I'm not sure, but I think that they would be very appropriate to review, as well as have a full evaluation with the defendant. I mean, if that means we have to do an independent valuation, I guess I would ask the court to allow me to find the resources to do an independent valuation, or refer them back to Miss Dr. Carlson so that she could try to re-interview the defendant, and hopefully he'll just cooperate with that interview so we can make steps and proceed forward.
Well, Mr. Jude, what was scheduled was a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference. This is a felony charge. One is a felony, one is a misdemeanor. You've got a $20,000 bond, and everything just gets stopped in a timeout when there's a competency hearing.
Got any proof on anything? No.
So we weren't able to do the pre-exam conference, and we weren't able to do the preliminary examination. So I ordered this evaluation, and they did it, but it didn't go very well because you weren't very cooperative. So go ahead, sir. What do you want to tell me?
I've been telling you everything. There's nothing on, what do you want to know?
Well, do you want to go forward with your case? Do you want to have a trial? You have a right to have a trial where the prosecution has to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. We can't move forward in the posture we're in right now.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to stay in here for no reason, man. I'm already in here for no reason over 90 days. Did
97 days.
You see how skinny I am and shit?
Yes.
Yeah. Getting old.
Let me ask this. If I were to release you today, where would you go?
I don't know. I'd figure it out.
Well, I'd rather figure it out first.
Well, I gotta be able to go get my shit.
Yeah. Well, are you willing to talk with your attorney so she can proceed to prepare your case for trial?
I don't care, man. If it gets me out of here. You see me, I'm starving, man.
Well, I see it, all right.
Getting poisoned every day. Gas, yeah.
Say that again?
Getting poisoned and gassed every day too. I know you don't care, but
What's that from?
ask them.
Did he say he was poisoned with gas? Mr. Jude,
Yes.
is that what you said?
He said he is poison gassed every day. The jail staff says you're on a quasi hunger strike and that you refuse to eat.
I've been eating.
All right, well, do that.
Your Honor, I'm confused. Is he making a statement that, what does that mean, poisoned gas?
Well, you heard the same thing I did. He contends he's being poisoned by the jail staff with poison gas. And he said, ask them.
You gonna let me out today or what? You just said something about it.
No, I just asked what you would do if you had somewhere to go. No, I'm not inclined to let you out without cooperating with your attorney. I can't even get to the first stage of the proceedings. You've been in jail for 97 days. If I order an independent psychiatric evaluation, it's probably going to take another 90 days. I don't believe that you're being poisoned by poison gas at the jail. It doesn't matter what I believe if you believe it. So what would happen if I find you to be competent? I would set the matter for a pre-exam conference where your lawyer would come and meet with you and discuss what to do with the case. It could be reduced with some sort of a plea agreement, or you could have a trial. Nothing prohibits you from having a trial. where you have to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But we can't even get to that point. This business about your belief you're being poisoned is new to
Can you bond
this.
me out? I've already tried. They won't let me.
Well, your
Okay.
bond is $20,000 cash or surety.
Yeah. I've already tried.
Well, there were
you know,
also allegations that you violated a personal protection order. That's why the bond is so high. You kept going back to a place you were ordered to stay away from.
But I gotta go back to where my stuff is.
Well, we'll get to that point. At this point, I'm inclined to grant defendant's motion for an independent psychiatric evaluation.
And you do what you gotta do.
All right, thank you, Mr. Juday.
I'm talking to somebody.
What I'd like you to do is cooperate with the next doctor and see if we can move forward here. 'Cause
I'll talk to the doctor. There's nothing to talk about, but.
all right, I asked you to cooperate. Maybe we get.
I mean, come on.
All right, well, I've seen enough of that. So, all right, Mr. Juday, have extra French fries or something. I'll be seeing you at our next hearing.
I wish I was eating.
But I can't tell. He was doing pretty good until we got into poison gas. And as the jail indicated, he's on his own sort of hunger strike. He didn't look any skinnier than Iggy Pop, but I don't know what he looked like before. So I will do an order for independent evaluation.
Okay.
And in the meantime, the bond will remain where it is. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That's a tough case here. I don't really want to just leave him there, but I don't want to just let him out either. He has nowhere to go. This is a hearing regarding competency of the defendant in file number 24903FY, People versus James Charles Juday. Mr. Juday is charged with a felony home invasion charge and a charge of malicious destruction of personal property over $200 but less than $1,000. He was arrested in May of 2024, and we've yet to even conduct a preliminary examination in this matter. The defendant is here with his lawyer, Rhonda Ives. Prosecuting attorney is represented by attorney Andrew Rognus. Early in the process, the court and counsel asked for a competency evaluation. And that took a while. And there was a competency evaluation conducted by a doctor from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. Let's see if I can get back into it. We received that report on August 16th from, get to the bottom signature line, Carissa Carlson, a consulting forensic examiner. And the opinion was not exactly a rousing finding of competency. The parties present, I think it was Mr. Robert and Ms. Ives, stipulated to the report. I'll read the opinion. I was unable to thoroughly assess Mr. Juday's mental condition at the time of the present examination due to his declining to participate in the evaluation. Because of this, I was also unable to directly ask him questions to assess his understanding of the nature and object of the proceedings against him or assess his inability to rationally assist in his defense, his ability to rationally assist in his defense. An opinion on the competency is required. Good morning, Mr. Bland.
Good morning, Judge.
Regardless of the level of participation of Mr. Juday, at the time of the instant evaluation, he was reportedly refusing all psychiatric medication. He was noted by jail staff to, quote, have something wrong with him, end quote, but it also indicated he knows it and sometimes he uses it, end quote. In my opinion, due to the limitation of not being able to directly evaluate Mr. Jude myself, and my understanding of the statute, one has to opine that the presumption of competency. So essentially, because she couldn't connect with him, she's found an opinion of competency. Although the ultimate decision on this matter rests on a judicial determination, it is my opinion that Mr. Jude is competent to stand trial if he so chooses. And I indicate that was in August. We had a hearing on that matter, and Ms. Ives requested a continued independent forensic evaluation. So I did not make a finding of competency or not competency. She obtained a second report, and the court received that. I'm not sure. It was submitted on October 14th. We had some difficulty scheduling this hearing because Ms. Ives was busy with a lot of other matters, but we settled on this morning. So that report was submitted by
Dr. Farhat.
Let me get to the bottom here. Sami, S-A-M-I, Farhat, PhD, licensed forensic psychologist. He's the owner of Foren Psych Evaluations. Mr. Agnes, on behalf of the state, may we stipulate that I may consider that report?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Ms. Ives, on behalf of your client, may I consider that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jude, I haven't seen you in quite some time, since last spring, probably. Dr. Farhat had a different conclusion than the doctor from the forensic center. One of the questions, the doctor from the forensic centers said you could be competent and assist if you choose to. So there's a concern about whether this is all an act or whether you were suffering from mental illness. And Dr. Farhat says, primary opposition to my opinion was that Mr. Jude was either malingering or simply being uncooperative. The reader may reasonably consider whether his non-compliance and disruptive behaviors in jail and lack of engagement were volitional in nature. Some behaviors may occur in those attempting to feign or portray themselves as mentally ill. I have in fact evaluated many defendants who are malingering. The strategy involved flooding their cells and other things. Based on this information, I considered whether his non-compliance and disruptive behaviors were the result of feigning or volitional uncooperativeness. Dr. Farhat finds that presently you're incompetent and you could benefit from further hospitalization and treatment. And he says there were several factors that led me to that opinion. First, Mr. Jude has adamantly denied having anything wrong with him throughout his incarceration. He informed me that he was not crazy and did not require psychotropic medications. Similarly, Mr. Carlson stated that he lost his shit when offered medications at the jail. This would be a counterintuitive malingering strategy, as malingering involves an attempt to portray themselves as mentally ill, or this defendant is denying his mental illness. The doctor also believes that there is substantial likelihood that Mr. Jude will attain competence if he's provided with a course of treatment within the allotted time. Some psychotic individuals are resistant to treatment and will never be restored to a state of competency. I considered whether Mr. Jude was such an individual. As I stated above, the vast majority of psychotic defendants are successfully restored when treated. I'm unaware of any information suggesting that Mr. Jude was in treatment resistant to treatment, would not respond to treatment efforts. As such, my opinion weighed primarily on what is statistically known about the restoration of psychotic defendants. That he will be more likely than not to be someone who could be successfully restored to competence. Mr. Jude, you're stuck in a legal limbo. Your brother is here because he's interested in this. We haven't even really got the case started. The conduct that led to your arrest was bizarre, somewhat, and irrational. You were painting on the house and other things. You were uncooperative really from the get-go at the jail. And so we aren't even in a position where we can discuss a plea offer, such as reducing this to a misdemeanor or that sort of thing, because of the concern as to whether you're competent to assist in your own defense.
Got me in here for a $50 window.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Center for Forensic Psychiatry said, well, we don't know. He's not cooperating, so we find he's competent. Dr. Farhad's opinion is that you're not faking or malingering or manufacturing this mental illness, that you have a mental illness that you don't want to address. Mr. Rognes, you have anything further on behalf of the people?
Your Honor, reviewing Dr. Farhad's report, it's obvious that Mr. Jude is not cooperating with Dr. Farhad. I find it inconceivable he's going to cooperate with defense counsel unless he gets his current circumstances remedied by whatever's appropriate in these circumstances. It may be a course of medication or something similar, but
I'm not taking no medication.
I tend to suspect that what Dr. Farhad indicates is accurate.
His eyes, you wish to speak to this?
Well, thank you, Your Honor. Well, again, in meeting with my client, he noted that he is being poisoned still. He said that his hair is falling out and that they're poisoning him, and that's the reason why he's lost so much weight. I mean, it's difficult for me to comprehend. I do not believe for 1 minute that the jail is intentionally poisoning him. But that is his belief at this point. I would indicate that it's been very difficult for me to meet with him because just looking back on my file folder, my very first attempt to meet with him on May 30th, he refused to meet with me. Then on 6/4, back on June 4th, we had I think that was one of the initial court hearing days. At that point, he did talk to me, but he was defensive. He made statements that the victim was not his father. I think I understand it's his stepfather. His statements didn't make any sense as it related to the report. And then again, when I tried to visit him later in June, he refused contact with me. And discussing with his brother, what I think is interesting to note that his brother described behaviors that he noticed, that he was covering up his microwave, his phone, taping up his vents, which is very similar to the behavior that he's doing in the jail. And this was going on prior to his arrest. So I believe something is going on with Mr. Jude that he needs help for. And I mean, I don't know what that is, but I believe Dr. Farhad is probably closer to understanding it than any of us. Thank you.
I read both reports again yesterday and again this morning, and Dr. Farhad's report is very well informed. And the Forensic Center made a finding of competency, I think, because they didn't know what else to do. I find, based on this evidence of both reports, the defendant is presently incompetent to stand trial, but restorable. There is a substantial probability that the defendant is provided with a course of treatment and he will retain competence to proceed further, including trial. So I've signed an order to that effect. Mr. Jude, we need to get this case moving. You're stuck there in a cell. You don't like it. You're right. This had to do with the destruction of your parents' home It's the kind of thing that could be resolved if we could get to a finding that you're competent. So I'm gonna take you back to the jail. You are going to be taken to the State Center for Forensic Psychiatry for further evaluation and treatment, hopefully with the idea that you can be restored to competence. Or you can go with officer. Thank you for being here, sir.
So all this for a $50 window
Yes, sir.
that you can't prove?
Well, I don't know about that, but we can't even get to first base yet. Thank you.
Can I get your number?
He might be in your Zoom. Is there anyone? in your
Let me
Zoom?
see. I'll tell you in a minute whether he's in there. The defendant is here from Saline Forensic Center.
He said he's logging in. The brother, his name is Mike.
All right, we're back, finishing the end of our long day. Got more to do yet. Yes, here he is. Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mike Juday?
Yes.
All right, could I ask you to take your hat off?
Sorry, I'm a solid road. I just get off work.
All right, you're fine. We're about to bring James in here. He's at the Forensic Center. And his MO has been not really very cooperative. He's not belligerent. He just doesn't really want much to do with any of this. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to bring him in and call the case.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Juday. This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse in Centerville. Also present is your lawyer, Rhonda Ives, and prosecuting attorney, Angela Camfield. Your brother, Mike Juday, has also joined us here for this hearing. To recap, Mr. Juday was charged in May of 2024 with home invasion, third degree, and malicious destruction of property over 200 but less than 1,000. Malicious destruction of property over $200 is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. The home invasion charge is a felony and it is punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. Defendant was arraigned on those charges and he's been in custody now for more than a year between jail and the Forensic Center. As of May 24th, he was in jail for 365 days. May 15th, he was in jail for 365 days. So add 16 days in May, 30 days in June, 31 days in July, and 14 days. That's 30, 91 days, 365 plus 91. You've been in jail for 456 days or at the Forensic Center. Our last hearing was in May, and we had received a letter from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry that they believe that you're still incompetent, but that you are restorable to competence. Most of the issue here, as I've seen it, Mr. Juday, is you just won't talk to anybody. You didn't really want to talk to me. You didn't want to talk to your lawyer. you didn't want to talk to the people at the forensic center. You just wish we would all go away, but we're all stuck here. I have received a most recent report, date stamped August 12th, from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. It's by Graham Parker, limited clinical social worker, certified forensic examiner. Ms. Camfield, on behalf of the prosecution, may we consider that report for this hearing?
Yes, I would allow that, Your Honor.
Ms. Ives, you concur?
I concur, Your Honor.
All right, I'll get right to the bottom line and then I'll quote further from the report. The conclusion of Dr. Parker, or clinical or social worker Parker, he's not a doctor. It is my opinion that Mr. Jude remains incompetent to stand trial at this time. It is believed with continued treatment, he will be likely to meet the statutory criteria for competency to stand trial prior to the expiration of the treatment order. And I believe the treatment order is good. I was trying to look at it. I think it's 15 months. So at some point, if we don't get where we're going, we're going to have to pursue a different cause of action. Back in July of 25, a previous doctor, Dr. Journey, Jouney, stated, since his admission, Mr. Jude has been unwilling to speak with members of his treatment team. When I asked him to meet with me, he entered the interview room, refused to sit, and asked, and then left without answering any questions. His social worker, the chief clinician, reported similar encounters. They reported Mr. Jude's conduct as generally good. He's made friends, he's adhered to unit rules, and been responsive to staff requests. He's not displayed any irritability, aggressiveness, or atypical behaviors. He's not been prescribed any medicine other than olanzapine, which has not been taken. And then here's their opinion. The concerns relating to Mr. Jude's previous competency evaluations continue to remain present. Mr. Jude appears to demonstrate the basic capacities to understand the nature and object of the proceedings against him. However, he has difficulty discussing and applying these concepts to his case. Mr. Jude has difficulty participating in a rational discussion relating to his legal matters. Overall, Mr. Jude's present mental condition continues to interfere with his inability to discuss his legal charges in a rational manner and ultimately assist with his defense. Mr. Jude would benefit from further restoration treatment within a structured setting to work toward obtaining competency. Mr. Jude, I've talked to you here in the courtroom, on Zoom from the jail in Centerville, and a couple of times from the forensic center. You're always polite, but basically you won't talk to me, and you won't talk to your lawyer. You've been in jail for 455 days or whatever I calculate, 456 days, or at the forensic center. If we could get you to cooperate and open up, this matter could probably be resolved and you could get released. But at this point, we're stuck in this closed loop of you not wishing to talk to anybody or assist in your defense. Are you willing, is there anything you want to say to me here?
And there ain't nothing to talk about, man. I still plead the fifth.
All right.
I know my rights, man. It shouldn't even go this far.
All right. Now, as a rule, well, the Fifth Amendment says that the defendant's statements cannot be used against him if they're taken in an involuntary manner. Your statements to the doctors are exempt from use in any criminal proceeding against you. Your discussions with your lawyer are privileged. Anything you say to your lawyer cannot be used against you. There's an absolute attorney-client privilege that protects that relationship. So at some point, you're gonna have to talk to somebody, or we're gonna be here for a long time. What the actual allegation was is that you.
What you want me to do? Just have a conversation with them about whatever?
Well, not even necessarily about.
Talk about sports? What?
Yeah, talk about your ability to assist with your trial. Understand the charges against you, be willing to cooperate with your lawyer, be willing to answer her questions. You don't have to tell me a thing, Mr. Jude. You're right. You have a Fifth Amendment right not to testify or disclose anything if you don't wish to. I can't call you to the witness stand and put you under oath and say, hey, tell me what happened.
I've already talked to Rhonda too. I told her what she needs to know. Like I said, what else you want to talk about?
She wants to talk about whether the prosecutors offered a plea agreement, whether you would accept the terms of the plea agreement.
I ain't taking no plea, man.
All right, or
said
whether
this
we're gonna
shit
have
like
a jury
5
trial.
times.
Right now, the case is still in district court. The charge is a felony. We haven't even gotten past the preliminary examination stage. Now, your brother Mike is here. He's concerned about you, and he's been in contact with the court. They may pursue an involuntary commitment, but at some point the clock is ticking. I encourage prosecution and defense to take a look at the mental health code, because we can't kick this can down the road forever. I think it's 15
it's a joke,
months.
man. It shouldn't even gone on this long.
Yeah, that's regrettable, but it's not like part of it isn't your fault. I'd like to have this case over with a year ago.
Yeah, you
So, yes, well, I make a finding that I adopt the opinion of the forensic examiner. I find that the defendant is incompetent at the time, but restorable. He shall remain under the supervision of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. He is presently at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. As a condition, no, you're not released, but James, I think we can get this case resolved either by plea or trial, but we got to get past this hurdle. I believe this is the last time we can do this. Anything further would have to be a petition for involuntary hospitalization. And Mike is aware of that. But we need to, and I've looked at it, you guys need to look at the statute regarding competency and continued commitments. Mr. Jude, my advice is try to cooperate with the people and cooperate with your lawyer, and let's see if we can get past the competency hurdle to either get the matter resolved in district court.
I have been, man.
All right, sir. I wish you luck. I'll be seeing you probably within the next 90 days.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oops.
We done.
All right, you're good to go. All right, Mr. Jude, they're gonna hold on to him for a while longer, but at some point, if he's found not to be restorable to competence, there has to be a petition for involuntary hospitalization. We've got people that have never been competent again, and there's one man, he's been at the forensic center for 35 years. And once a year, they have a competency review. I don't want that for James. It's the kind of case where he probably would get time served if we could ever get the case to the finish line. All right, thank you for being here. Do you have the information on how to contact his lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You're good to go.
Thank you very much.
All right, I have done the continuing order. Current custody. It's 456 days. But custody isn't the issue. It's when the clock starts to tick with hospitalization. And they can only hospitalize him, I believe, for 15 months. We've got another one coming up with the gentleman in Three Rivers that believes he's owns a piece of the parking lot. That's on a 90-day misdemeanor. He's been in custody for a year and a half. All right, thank you. Ms. Ives, thanks for making time for this. As you know, we're supposed to do these within 5 days, which often means drop everything else you're doing and address this. But
Worked out, I was here today.
yes,
Your Honor,
thank
so.
you. All right, Ms. Canfield, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, that seems to be about all we have, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long 2 hours. That was a lot of Middleton to put together. That was actually a lot of Middleton combined over a long time. Kind of crazy. The kids, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I got more work to do. I got more videos that are coming out, but hey, we're done for the live stream. You know. Oh, thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. Katie, Tev, Spider, Eileen, Mom, Big Tiff, CE, Jerlay, Rhonda. I know you're out there somewhere. I know there's been a bunch of people that have left that I should have said hello to. I didn't say hello to. Raven, have a good day. Northwest, have a good day. Everybody, have a good day. It's been interesting. And keep in mind, if you enjoyed the live chat, you know, this chat right over here, if you like that and you had fun, come by every night of the week. We have a live chat running with the docket of the day. It happens at about, what time is it? 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we do these weekend get-togethers every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time, noon Eastern. So come on by, hang out. I'll be doing another one. You know how it is. Been fun, Kier. Been an amazing chat. It's been everything. It's been everything. Thank you all for coming out. Stream is done. I'm done. Peace out. Puppies are tired. I'm gonna go hang out with them for a while. See you later. Bye.